Sorry, I just realized my microphone was muted. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take it back from the top. Okay, so from the top. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible now, sir.
I think my microphone was muted.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so let me take it from the top again. All right, so what we were discussing earlier on is yesterday we had a beautiful session where we talked about productivity tools and tips for nonprofit. We discussed some of the tools that you can use as a business leader to become productive and more effective. The presentation slides will be made available after the 3 days session, so it's be bundled together as one video. So that's why the meeting is still open. Um, yeah. So what we're going to do next is setting up a personal portfolio for yourself or your business, and also we'll be doing an introduction into forex trading. So the platform you're using is for TechSoup. It's TechSoup Connect. So TechSoup is a community um, that helps non-profits to use technology for social good. So we organize monthly events where we help non-profits to use technology for good. I am the TechSoup Connect chapter leader for Ghana. So we have other chapter leaders in other region. Yesterday, our community manager joined us. He's not here today. So if he has the time, you might see him jump in the meeting. So, so that's for TechSoup Connect. And then the Business Influencers Network is a group under the Department of Groups and Fellowship under the Lab Wellness. So this is an online business seminar, the first of its kind for young people. Like I said yesterday, we dealt with productivity tools and tips for nonprofits, and then today, we are dealing with setting up an online portfolio and also introduction into forex trading. There's another session tomorrow where we'll be doing banking, finance, and investment, and also social media marketing. So, so to get started, so as a business leader, as a leader, it's very important that you have a digital presence. Yes. So that when people go online, they find you and what you do. So because as a young person, you might be engaged in so many things. You might be doing entrepreneurship, you might be doing ministry, you might be doing a lot of things. You might have a podcast, a blog. So you have to have a place to store those information. Yes, it's good to have a Facebook page, have an Instagram page, have a Twitter page, but it's also advantageous to have a website, so which we call a portfolio. So it becomes your digital portfolio where people can go there and see you. Okay, so what are we going to be dealing with in today's presentation? So we're going to tackle getting your domain name. We're going to tackle getting your web hosting, installing WordPress, choosing a theme, and adding content to your website, and then adding plugins, and then wrapping things up. So this is a do-it-yourself approach. So you don't have to know. Someone might tell you you need to be a programmer to create your own website. No, you don't have to be a programmer to create your own website. You can just use WordPress to create your own website. It's very simple with drag and drop. You can be able to set up your own website. And after this session, you're able to do that. It's not very expensive. With at least, I would say, less than 100 cedis or 70 cedis a month. Sorry. Yeah, I think, okay, let's say 300 cedis a year. You should have your digital presence online. And then you should be able to talk to your audience, um, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So you can actually be driving, if you have a lot of followership, you can be driving your traffic to your website. And then with time, it can even be fetching you money when you begin to run ads on your website. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is getting your domain name. So, sorry. The first thing I'm going to look at your domain name. So, what is domain name? A domain name is it's your digital presence. So a domain name is your digital presence. So it's your name. It's your name on the internet. So let's say I'm Desaserum. So my domain name is desaserum.com. So you have to have a digital presence. So that becomes your name on the internet. So when someone goes there, they can be able to find your website or whatever content you place on that website. A domain name, I said, is your digital presence. So you need to have that as a as a leader so that okay, you have a huge following on Instagram, you have a huge following on Facebook, you have a huge following on Twitter. You can direct traffic to those that place so that people know can find more information about you. And then sometimes Facebook controls the content that you post. Instagram controls the content that you post. But on your website, you can set to post what you want. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at is okay, I think my internet is a bit slow right now. Okay, a domain name I said is basically the address of your website on the internet. So a domain name has three parts. We have the protocol, the subdomain, and then the domain name. So the protocol is what you see in the browser URL HTTP or HTTPS. So HTTPS means that website is secured. So HTTPS means that website is secured. HTTP means that website is not secured. So you have to ensure that your website has HTTPS, meaning your website needs to be secured. Then we have the subdomain, which is the www aspect of your domain name. And then we have the testsoup.org or .com or whatever name.com.org. So now in the aspect, which is the red aspect, we have a name, which is actually your name, and then the TLD, top level domain, which is now the .org, .com. Organizations go for .org. Maybe if it's an NGO, they're going for .org. If it's a business, they're going for .com. If it's a personal website, you can go in for .com or .me, which is .me. So now, some things to keep in mind when domain name. So a domain name needs to be simple, it needs to be unique, it needs to be suitable, and it needs to be have the right TDL. So you can't have a portfolio and go in for a .org because you are not an organization. So you have to go in for the right top level domain. Okay, so how do you buy a domain name? So we have just like how you register a business, where you have to go to in some countries you have to go to the registrar general department to register that business. Same way, to buy a domain name, you have to go to a registrar. So we have several registrars on the internet that will help you register your name so that no one can have access to it or no one else can use it. So a domain name registrar is a company that manages the reservation of internet domain names. So everybody's name is reserved. So no matter what name you use on the internet, is reserved until someone comes to buy it from them.
Different
domain registrars. We have Namecheap, we have GoDaddy, we have Domain King, Name.com, and so many others. So mostly, personally, I use Namecheap for most of the things I do because they have cheaper domain name as their name implies. Okay, so now after you've gotten your domain name, what is the next thing? The next thing is to get a web hosting. So a web hosting is like an address or an office location for your portfolio of it's like a place where someone can come on the internet and see you. So someone can come on the internet and see your home. Someone can come on the internet and see the things about you. Someone can come on the internet and see your contact information. So that becomes your home on the internet. So that's where your informations are stored online. So that becomes your web hosting. Just like how a business, after going through the registration process with the registrar general, they have an office address that they work from that customers can walk in. So a domain name is where people can walk in. So when someone types your domain name on in a browser, www.yourname.com, what shows up? So what shows up is what you have on your web hosting. So the same companies that sell the domain name also sell web hosting, but not all of them do. Some do not offer web hosting. Just a few that do both. So most domain registrars also do the sales of web hosting. So we have Namecheap, Bluehost, Cloudways, Amazon Lightsail, Name.com, and the others. So a web hosting, like I have here, is a storage that contains all the files of your website. This is a bit technical than the explanation I gave. Okay, the next thing is, okay, now you have your domain name, you have your web hosting. What is the next thing? So it's like you registered your business with the registrar general, you've rented an office. So what's the next thing? The next thing is to set up your office. So maybe you need furniture, you need a secretary, you need this and that and that. So you have to put all those things together. So that is where the installation of WordPress comes in. So WordPress is a content management system, which is a do-it-yourself approach. So you don't need a developer to help to do it for you. You can actually do it yourself. So to create your own personal portfolio, you don't need a developer. All right, I'll be doing a practical session. So I'm just going to rush through this remaining slides, and then we'll go into the practical session. Then we'll end the session. Then we jump onto the next speaker. So we'll be installing WordPress with a Software Plus app installer. So you understand this when we begin the practical session. Yeah. So Software Plus is an extremely popular free auto app installer application that comes integrated with most cPanels. So after you've chosen your, if you installed WordPress, you have to choose a WordPress theme. So how do you want your office to look like? So yeah, that's where this comes in. Then what kind of furniture do you want to use? So where do you buy them from? So we have people that sell or provide these services. We have WordPress. You can get themes from WordPress, which is called premiums, which are free. You don't have to pay for them. And you have premium themes from Team Forex, which you'd have to pay for. So in choosing a WordPress theme, you can either opt for a premium theme or a free theme. If you choose a free theme, make sure to update it and also ensure that it has a good rating. Because some people just develop templates and put it there and they don't update it, so it becomes vulnerable. So people can hack into your website. It's like how burglars can um, come into your office and steal from you if you don't have the right security in place. Okay, so these are some of the templates that you can use. So top free themes, which are WordPress.org themes, and their commercial versions are your safest choice because of their popularity and the high customizable features. So after you've now set up those things up, the next thing you do is to add content to your website. So you have to create your homepage, your about page, put information about you, put your pictures there, put your content information there. When people come, they can go to see you, put the things that you what you do that you want people to contact you to help them with, and all that. You so now add those content to your website. Then so in adding content to your website, we have what we call pages and then posts. So posts are like blogs that you post frequently, and pages are the aspects of your website. So maybe your home page, your about page, your contact page, which has your contact information, your privacy policy, and then maybe some landing pages. So then you add plugins. So plugins are a security feature. They could be security features. So they are add-ons that makes your office more attractive. Yeah, so maybe you walk into Carbon's office, yeah, or a particular office, and you're like, okay, wow, this office is really nice. They have this and that. They have a nice reception. So the plugins are kind of add-ons for your business. So which are something you would also have to install. So installing plugins are like apps for your website that enables you to extend the features of your website and also add some customization. So now, just like how someone and then lock the office, you need to secure your website. So you need to put some security measures in place for your website. So I'll walk you through that in the next presentation. During the practical presentation, um, then so you also have to back. So you first of all install security plugins, and then you also have to back up the website. And then we have something we call the SEO. So the SEOs are search engine optimization solutions that help you make your website rank in Google search. So when someone just search for your name, you pop up, or you be the first to pop up, or your website becomes the first to pop up. So then we have forms. So forms are a way that people get in touch with you. So maybe your contact form where people can send you messages and or send you emails. Okay, so this wraps things up. The next thing is we're going to jump right into the practical session on how to buy these things or get this thing started. So I'm going to stop sharing this screen. Okay, so okay, so um, I illustrated So the first thing I said is to get a domain name. So you go to the URL namecheap.com. Okay, let me stop sharing and reshare. I don't know why. Okay, so when you go to namecheap.com, which I would have the chat session and then might have to make it available in okay, so then over here, this is where you can actually buy both your domain name and your hosting name. So you can domains, we have hosting, then we have WordPress. You can manage WordPress, which is very simple. It handles the hosting and everything together and bundles it up. Or you can actually decide to go in for both the domain and the hosting separately. It's not really difficult if you want to go with that approach as well. Both are pretty simple. So you can now select the domain name search option. Um, so you have to search for the name. So I wanted to share my entire screen so that I can be able to switch in between tabs. Do that instead so that I can be able to switch in between the tabs. Okay, so I want to switch between tabs easily. Do that. Okay, let me just use. I don't know why. Oh, my sessions. Okay, so when you come here, you can now search for the name that you want. So let's say I want my name. So if you want to visit that website, I've shared the link on the chat. Okay, so okay, my internet's a bit slow, so I'll have to wait. All right, so it tells you that this domain name has been taken since 2020, meaning someone has already purchased it. So yeah, meaning because I have this domain name already, yeah, so it's taken. But you can add maybe something, and then you can have it, and then you buy it. That's if it's your name. If you check for yours, it will be available. So it tells you that it costs $8.98 for the first year, price of $13.98 for every year. But for the first year, you can get at 0.98. So that's even less than $1. So you can actually buy your domain name for less than $1 for the first year. And then $8 is not something, or $13 is not something huge to spend to keep your online. Add that to the cart. You go in for the hosting where you can choose the shared hosting and buy the shared hosting as well. Um, then, or you can actually go for the WordPress package that comes bundled with everything, and then you purchase that. So the next thing is to, I think I have to wrap up because I've spent a lot of time to set up your, which is your web. So if I'm to, let me just use the same tab. If I'm to go to my domain name, so over here you'll see my personal website and then what I personally do. So you can have something like that for yourself, and then you put in the things that you do over there. Yeah, pretty simple. Yeah, so it's very easy to set up. You can complete from the templates that I showed you. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to change images, then you're done. So it's basically a do-it-yourself approach. Yeah, so I would like to wrap up here so that the next presenter takes over. So if there are any questions, so you can come to the WordPress session and then look for templates to buy that come with the content that you already need. Okay, so I will stop sharing my screen, and if the then so that we can take the next session, unless someone has a question. Okay, I think the let me find out whether he's having. Okay, I think he's trying to connect his mic. So let's just wait for.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening to everyone, and
Good evening.
I want to say a very big thank you to you, sir, for the opportunity to handle this session of training. Just going to be doing some brief introduction into forex trading, and I believe several of us have heard about forex trading. It's actually, a venture where if you're disciplined and you're focused, just like any other business, you would make the best out of. And so I've been into forex for quite some time now. I actually chanced on it in the year 2017, and I started, and along the line I broke off and came back. So as of now, I'm more like into forex trading. So not to waste so much time, I'll quickly share my screen so that we can move on. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen. Hello. Okay, thank you very much. So in the course of time, if there is any question, uh, you can just write it down in the chat, and then I'll get back to it. So basically, we're going to have an introduction into Forex. So these are actually the course content, what we're going to be tackling for today. To start with, we'll be looking at a brief
You've
misconceptions that,
you've sorry you've stopped.
okay, sorry about that. Let me get back to this. Okay. Is it back now?
Not yet.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. But Francis is
Yeah, sure.
asking, is there a registered link for participant to click on to connect directly? So to connect directly, they use to register. So when they go on the registration, the event page, they just have to click join virtual event and then they'll jump in. So there's actually no direct link. I don't know whether this direct link would work. Let me see. Let me try it my and then see whether it works first.
Okay, please, I am back now.
Yes, please continue. No, yeah, but we can't
Okay,
see your
so
screen. So
you still can't see my screen.
no.
Okay, please give me a second. Let me check on that.
Okay, for Mona to reconnect. Okay, I think it's trying to reconnect. So we give him a few minutes. So
Okay. Hello. Yeah, hello. Mind being here now.
You?
Okay. Sorry for that interruption. My connection was a bit unstable. So, okay. So basically, uh, the contents of what we're going to be sharing today, we'll be looking into a few misconceptions that a lot of people have about trading. Then we'll also be looking at the history of Forex, what Forex actually is. Then we will look at what to trade in Forex market, um, and then the major participants of the market, as well as why to trade forex. Definitely you should have a reason or something that would actually cause you to be enthused about getting into the field of forex. Then we'll also be looking into when exactly to trade forex. You know, and then some basic forex market jargons. Then we look at the kind of mindset that an individual has to have, once he calls himself a trader. And then briefly we'll talk about how to get
Hello.
started, how to actually, yeah, can you hear me?
You can hear you. Are you sharing your screen? Because you can't see anything.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
We can't
Can
see
you see my
anything.
screen now, please?
Wait, not yet.
Okay, please give me a second. I'm still trying. Can you see my screen now?
No, please.
Mm.
Is it possible to send it to me either on WhatsApp, Telegram, or email so that I walk through them as
Okay,
well?
let me send it to you
Okay.
so that you can just post it from your side. Just give me like 1 minute. Okay, so I'm sharing it with you now. It's look
Okay.
should be please can you see my screen now? I'm trying to share it again.
No, please. What browser are you using?
Yes, hello. Yes, hello, sir. Did you receive the file?
Got the file. Let me share it now.
Okay.
I need a few minutes.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry once again. The connection. What can I say to this introduction to Forex? So basically, I believe we have all heard in one way or the other about Forex trading, and I just want to share, a little knowledge that I've acquired over the time. I actually chanced on Forex trading 2017, so I went there for a while, until I went off and then now into Forex. This evening session is basically an introduction to Forex, having an idea about what Forex is all about, such that you can be able to take the step into getting to be a Forex trader. So let's have the next slide. Can you, hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, so I think okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, so this is basically our course content. This is going to be looking a bit into some people have about forex trading. Also, get something briefly on forex. We also look at exactly, and then in the forex market, we also be looking at the various people that are in or the various market participants. Then we also look at why one needs to trade forex, and then we'll be looking also briefly at some basic used in the forex market. Would mindset that um, every individual who wants to be profitable in the field of forex has to have, and then we'll quickly look how to get started. So without much ado, let's to talk about a few misconceptions about forex trading. Next slide, sir. Okay, so a few misconceptions that people have majorly. The first one is that uh, forex is a get rich quick scheme. Uh, outrightly, most people think about forex. That is what most people think about forex. But forex is, even though forex can help you to become rich, you know, it can also it makes you become very broke, especially if you are not with discipline and you don't know your way around in the market. The other one is that one trader's win is another's loss. It's one thing most people think that when people get into the market, somebody can trade and win, another person can also. I mean, one person can on once somebody is winning, another person is losing. But then that is a fallacy because in the market when you get in there, it is based on how you study your chart. Somebody can go for maybe let's say a buy in the market and go for a sell at the same point in time. It depends on what the person is analyzing and then time frame that the person is using, to for that particular trade. Another point also is that you can get rid of. Truth be told, once you are put inside. You know what? This is your sweat, this is your blood. And so your emotions will be, activated no matter the kind of wall you decide to build, you know, such that things will not get to your emotion. Once it's your money, hard earned money, you will definitely have your emotions in there. The only thing you can do is that you can make those emotions, you know, you can get in your favor. Some people also believe that Forex has come, but this is not true because Forex is an open market. The only scam here is most of the times with people just because some brokers come into the just make and at the end of the day they are not able to the payouts of one away with the capital. And people see Forex to be a sometime. I think I heard some people say that you raise some money, give to them, and then you'll be at level. Am I being heard now? Am I being heard now?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, we could hear you.
Yes. Okay. Hello, am I being heard?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry about that again. Yeah. So I believe I got to the best strategy, the better. It is true that we have to devise strategies, in the forex market on majorly how to be profitable. But truth, there are simple strategies that you can even adopt and even be profitable than somebody who be an overly complex strategy. You know. Another one also is that forex is for short-term traders, which is also a lie. You know, there are people who can actually in the forex market. There are people who can hold trades for up to over a year or two, depending on what the person is trading. So forex is literally not just for short-term traders. Then the last point I'm going to talk about on this slide is that uh, forex starts with one currency pair, or you are supposed to start with one currency pair. Truth is, when you get into the market, you should be able to hover over so many currencies, and then the one that suits you, you literally at some point you have to, be able, or maybe to them and then move to the others. But like I believe that you start with just one currency pair. No. Sometimes you can trade the Euro USD or Euro GBP, whatever the currency pair would be, you literally could hover over them, then find you know uh, comfortable, then you can you know go ahead and trade with that pair alone. Okay, next slide, sir. All right, so for now, would be just to give us an overview of the history of forexes, to give us the history of forexes. So you can go ahead and play the video. That's the inside.
This is a video. Yeah, let me see. Okay, let me. Because it doesn't look like a video from my end.
Really?
Can you try and share from your end now? Let's see. Because it doesn't appear to be
Okay,
on
so
this one.
let's try and share my screen. Okay, please, I see my screen now.
Not yet, please. Yeah,
I see it now.
yes, please.
Okay.
Are we supposed to get a sound feedback?
Yes, please.
No, please.
1 second. Let me. Okay. Is it? Please can you hear the sound now?
Still no.
Still.
Let's get started on the history of Forex. Starting with the bartering
We can hear
system.
now.
In the
Okay.
bartering
Is
system,
the sound being heard now?
exchange goods for services.
Yes, please.
People typically traded things such as livestock, skills, agriculture, and even people. With the bartering system, people traded things they
or needed. For example,
the hunter might trade 10 rabbits to the carpenter for the carpenter's promise to fix. The bartering system may have been very easy to establish. However, it was very much rigged with issues. For instance, what if you had something that no one else wanted? It would be very hard to exchange. The limited shelf also presented an issue. If you were trading livestock or agriculture, their condition depended on their age and condition. For example, you would get very much money with a bunch of dying fruits and vegetables. Trying to transport those types of goods and services would put a huge demand on the trader. They would have to travel with a lot in order to carry its exchange. Goods would spoil and animals would transport. There was also the issue of fairness in exchange. People would have to agree about what each wanted before the exchange can be done. Another issue was trying to do business in small increments. Most things had to be traded in bulk. Eventually, the bartering system was abandoned for a
When do you know?
Are you back?
Yeah, yeah, I'm back now. So
Okay.
this connection thing is really.
Let me try.
See you.
Okay.
I was saying, let me try and see. Can we jump the video so that we can? Because it's almost 8.
Okay.
So
There
because
are
we,
actually
we're
several
making the slides
slides.
available. Yeah, we're making the
Maybe,
slides
I think
available after the
maybe.
presentation. So
Okay. So would it be appropriate if maybe after this session?
okay, you can just run through the slides because you make it available. So like you can just do run through the slides quickly and then we end it because you're making the slides available at in addition to the video. Hello? Hello? Okay, I think we will have to probably wrap up the session for today and then make some adjustments tomorrow because Wanda seems to be having an issues with network. So we'll have to break the session for today and then get back tomorrow. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. Um, so tomorrow will be more productive section, because this session, the network has been unstable, and then we've not been able to have much to do. So let's break today's session, and then we'll connect back for tomorrow for the last day. So one, I'll get a chance to represent, to redo his presentation tomorrow after the two sessions.